Hi friends, welcome to my channel, and this is 25th video in Veeam Advanced Training. And in this video we are going to see how we can take the backup of virtual machine which is running Active Directory or domain controller role. So this is about Active Directory or domain controller virtual machine backup and restore by using Veeam Backup and Replication. So in last video we have taken the backup of Active Directory or domain controller which was running on physical server, and in this video we are going to focus on taking the backup of Active Directory server which is running on virtual machines. So here is my backup lab infrastructure which we are going to use to take the backup of our virtual machine which is running Active Directory server. So we are going to take the backup of this virtual machine which is Win2K12 DC02, which is our second Active Directory server. So the first machine is Win2K12 DC01, which is our Active Directory server which is running Active Directory and DNS role. If I go here, you can see Active Directory and DNS role is running. So this is same server which we are using from last few videos. So Win2K12 DC01 and victorinfosol.com is a domain. So and the next server which we have is Veeam Backup and Replication server. So this is Win2K12-Veeam, and if I go here, you can see this is Veeam Backup server, Win2K12-Veeam, and this is having Veeam Backup and Replication installed. So I'm going to connect Veeam Backup and Replication through console, which is installed on same server. So here we have Veeam Backup and Replication console, and next we have a standalone Hyper-V host which is Win2K12 HV01, which is a standalone Hyper-V host. So if I go here, this is Hyper-V host 1, which is Win2K12 HV01, and this server having no virtual machines currently running. This is a blank, it's only a Hyper-V host having with no virtual machines, so you can see. And the second virtual machine which we have is 2-node cluster, which is HV-cluster. So this is Hyper-V 2-node cluster. If I go to our server which is Win2K12 HV02 and failover cluster manager, you can see the cluster name HV-cluster, and if I go to nodes, you can see this is 2-node cluster. So HV02 and 03 is the two Hyper-V hosts which is participating in this Hyper-V cluster, and we have one virtual machine here running which is Win2K12 DC01, which you can see from here. This is the virtual machine. So if I unlock this virtual machine, you can see the Active Directory and DNS role is installed, and the server name here you can see Win2K12 DC01 as DC02. And if I go to Active Directory users and computers, you can see all the users and computers and OUs which we have in this domain victorinfosol.com. and if you go to tools, then site and services, we can see we have two domain controllers in this infrastructure. One is first one DC01, which we have taken in last video as a physical server. We have taken the backup through Veeam agent for Microsoft Windows, and this time we are going to focus on Win2K12 DC01 or DC02, which is our virtual machine. So you can see from here this is running 2012. So if I go here, I have two domain controller in India side, and if I want to just check the replication, so replicate now, you can see Active Directory replication has been replicated, the connection. So this is good, so replication is happening. So we have a healthy Active Directory infrastructure with 2-node, two domain controllers. So this is what we have, and now I'm going to back to my this Veeam Backup and Replication console, and we are going to schedule the backup. So I'm going on my Veeam server, and then inventory. If I go to inventory, you can see my standalone Hyper-V host and Hyper-V cluster is both are added. So standalone Hyper-V host having no virtual machine, and this cluster having one virtual machine is DC02. I'm going to take the backup of this machine. So I'm on home and then backup jobs, then Microsoft Hyper-V, and I'm going to type here job name Win2K12 DC02 backup, and I'm going to say daily backup at 8 p.m. So this is description and this is my backup job name. So click next, and now we need to add the virtual machine. So I'm going to add this virtual machine Win2K12-DC02. Click on add, so you can see the size of this virtual machine and type, and click next. Then we have storage, so I'm going to store this in Veeam Backup and Repository. I'm going to configure the restore point 10, so maximum we are going to have a 10 restore point to restore this virtual machine. Also we have advanced option, so I'm going to set the create synthetic full backup on Friday, every Friday. So if you need any further settings, you can go and change the settings. So I'm going to click on OK and leave the default and click next. And now we have a guest processing. So this is if you enable this application aware back processing, then it's going to give you this console for you can actually mount the database of Active Directory in Veeam Explorer for Microsoft Active Directory, and you can restore the individual objects or OU or anything which is getting backup by this which is stored in Active Directory database. So I'm going to take the application aware backup also. So we are going to restore two types of testing this time. So the first one is we are going to have a restore objects by using the application aware backup, and then we are going to restore full machine also. So I'm also going to enable guest file system indexing, and we need to add the guest credential, OS credential, which having administrative access on this Hyper-V virtual machine, which is Win2K12 DC02. So I'm going to put my administrator key credential here. So here you can see I have an administrator credential which is domain admin, and I'm going to click OK. And then I'm going to test this authentication. So it's going to test and succeeded. So we have all the details here, IP address, we have all OS details, we have standard check the credential, everything is passed. So this is good, and now we can click on next and we can specify the schedule. So I'm going to run it 8 p.m. every day, and I'm going to automatic retry leave default and click apply. Now you can see the summary of this. So job has been created successfully, and here is the summary. So the job name and the target path and the type Hyper-V backup, and application aware backup is enabled, and guest indexing is also enabled, and source as this virtual machine, and this is the cluster name and the target repository which we have, and target repository host and the path. So I'm going to mark here run this job when I click on finish. So this job is automatically going to triggered. So now you can see the job is started and it's 0% completed. So it's going to take some time to get this job completed. So because first time it's going to take the full backup. So if I click here, you can see Win2K12-DC01 underscore backup full. So first time it's going to take the full backup of this virtual machine, which is going to take some time. So I'm going to pause the recording here, and once the backup is completed, I'm going to resume video from there, and we'll see how we can restore the Active Directory objects and full virtual machines both. So pausing the recording for now. So you can see the status is succeeded, and now if you go here, you can see all the task which was done and during this backup. So I'm going to run one more backup here, which is going to be a incremental once again. So we are going to have one full and one incremental backup. So let's wait for this backup to complete, and then we are going to have a restore. We'll check how we can restore, delete. We are going to delete some object, and then we are going to restore the objects. So it's going to check incremental. So only the blocks which was changed since last full backup, it's going to be backed up. So it's going to take only few minutes. So let's wait for this. So now you can see the job is completed. It's taken around 2 minutes to get this job completed. So now we have two backup. If I go to disk, and under this we have this virtual machine backup and restore point 2. If I right click here, you can see the application restore application item is there, and it's automatically detected the Microsoft Active Directory objects. So if I click here, and I'm going to select the restore point, the latest one, which was incremental, so click next. I'm going to see testing for deleted object restore, and I'm going to click next, and this is going to restore this Active Directory database only. So once I click finish, it's going to take some time, and then it's going to mount the Active Directory database. So you can see it's mounting the Active Directory database, and now it's went to the running job. So operation completed. And if I go here under the users and computers, we have all the users and computer and group policy, and you can see all the OUs. So if I go here, you can see the Active Directory restore object. This application item is running and in working state. So if I go here on my this DC and delete few objects, and then we will try to restore those objects from group. So if I delete all these VMs, and yes, I want to delete. So now we have deleted all 4 computer object, and we'll try to restore from here. So I am on Veeam Explorer for Active Directory, and then I'm going to click here, and I can see all the 4 virtual machines are there. So I'm going to select all 4, and then I'm going to type here restore to Win2K12 -DC01 Victor Info Sol. So I'm going to restore there, and it's going to take some time, and object found, and now it's restored. So we can see that object has been restored. So if I go here and refresh this, I can see the object has been restored. And same thing, I can go and test to delete object here, and if I go to my DC01, and let's see the object is deleted from here or not. So I have deleted FS01. So if I go to servers, it's not deleted yet, so it take few seconds, and now you can see the object has been deleted. And this time I'm going to restore my computer object on second DC. So I'm going to right click here and restore to. I'm going to select my another domain controller. So this is Win2K12-DC01, and then I'm going to click next and use the following object. So password, so I'm going to type Victor Info Sol, and then administrator, and the password for administrator, and click next. Restore to original container, or also you can specify any other OU. So I'm going to restore to the same OU, and then this is OU path, and I'm going to reset the password. So leave the default and keep the state of backup, enable account. So I'm going to leave all default and then restore. Now if I go to domain controller 01 and refresh this, you can see the computer object is back with all the information. So this is how we can restore individual object from Veeam Backup, which is by using the Veeam Explorer for Microsoft Active Directory. And now I'm going to show you how we can restore full virtual machine on any other host. So for example, this virtual machine I'm going to delete now from here, and will restore on another Hyper-V host. So for example, we have some corruption or something and we lost this virtual machine completely. So if I'm going to remove this from here, I'm going to delete from Hyper-V manager, and then I'm going to delete the storage also. So we are not going to have this virtual machine anymore anywhere. So you can see I'm going to delete this folder also. So this is gone, and now I'm going on my Hyper-V host, and I'm going to go to disk, and then I'm going to select this virtual machine. I'm going to do the restore entire VM, and I'm going to select this virtual machine, click next, and restore mode, restore to original location or any new location. So I'm going to select new location with different setting and click next. Now I'm going to select my host, which is standalone host Win2K12 HV01, so click OK. And then this is not a clustered node, so it's not going to have a cluster information. So cluster resource is not showing there. That is okay. Now click next, and here we have a path for virtual machine where it's going to save. So I'm going to mark this as virtual machine. So hard drive is going to save under this DHV data virtual hard disk, and configuration is there. So I'm going to click next. Now we have network settings. So we have a same network, same switch there, virtual switch for Hyper-V. So this is good. Now click next, and the virtual machine, if you want to rename this virtual machine, you can rename the virtual machine. So I'm going to leave the same name, and I'm also going to preserve the virtual machine ID. So this is good. Click next, and then I'm going to type lost machine from HV cluster. So I'm going to click on next. Then it's going to verify the virtual machine, and this is the information, original name and new name going to be the same, then restore point which we have selected, and target host and the target folder, and then switch information. And then I'm going to select power on the target virtual machine after restore. So once the machine is going to restore, it's going to automatically power on after restore. So I'm going to click on finish. Now you can see it's going to start in progress. It's 0%, so it's going to take some time to get the machine restored. If I go to HV02, HV01 actually, and if I go to here, you can see the machine is getting restored. So you can see the file is going to come here very soon. So you can see hard drive is getting restored for Win2K12 DC01, and this virtual machine is also going to restore. So it's going to take some time. So you can see the network utilization is going to be high because the virtual machine is getting restored. So it's going to take some time. Once the restore is completed, it's automatically going to power on our virtual machine. So let's monitor the network, and here you can see how much data it has been already transferred. So it's going to take with this speed, it's going to take around 10 to 15 minutes to get this machine restored. So I'm going to pause the recording here. Once the machine restored is completed, I'm going to resume video from there. So you can see the restore completed successful, and it's also powered on the virtual machine. So if I go to HV01, you can see the machine has been restored and started again. So if I go here and log into the server, and will verify all the settings and rest information, like no error on the server. So we are good to close this. Like, we have successfully restored the object, Active Directory object from Microsoft Active Directory Explorer for Veeam, and we have also restored the virtual machine. So you can see we have healthy server manager dashboard. So this is all. So this is all in this video. So we have taken the Active Directory backup, of virtual machine, and we have restored the Active Directory objects and the complete virtual machine from one host to another host. So thank you for watching, and please subscribe me for more videos. And if you have any query, any question related to this, you can always post me on my given mail IDs. Thank you once again. Bye bye.